Okay, today we're going to talk about all the fun things going on in the real estate environment, I guess we would say right now, which is the latest from the National Association of Realtors. So buckle up, we're going to dive in. Hi, I'm Amber Moore.
And I'm Bret Wallace.
And we're your Houston Local Guide. Okay, so I've already done the heavy lifting here so far, Bret. So
yeah, for once. So literally zero notes, zero planning. This is just off the cuff, talking about, like Amber said, the NAR lawsuit settlement went into effect on August 17th. So we're just a few days removed.
2024.
We're just a few days removed from that. So we just wanted to kind of talk as two real estate agents in the Houston market. Now, as far as I understand, the entire United States of America,
right.
There might be a few MLSs here and there that aren't fully, I don't know. But for the most part, this is the new way throughout the entire country. So
these are not Amber and Bret rules. We wouldn't be implementing them.
If they were, we would have never implemented them. But so there's a lot of misconception, misinformation, disinformation, and a lot of things. I mean, I'm reading articles. I'm on Facebook group posts with like HAR subscription members, Remax. It's some agents don't even know what's going on still, unfortunately. And we're not the forms are changing, but for the most part, the main goal of the settlement and what the trade associations and the brokerages, and they wanted to agree to best practices going forward to make sure that there was not the illusion that sellers had to take sellers had to accept 6% listings, which has never been the case. But some people were made to think, were able to convince a court or to convince lawsuit, the litigation that was brought forward, that perhaps they were led to believe that was the case, that they had to do that.
There was no choice, there was no negotiation point, which was not ever the case. So basically what we're saying is some people did some bad things and now we're all paying the price. Thank you.
Yeah. So the Department of Justice obviously got involved, and we love when Washington gets involved in things. So basically the main point was that there was to be, I wouldn't say the word collusion, right? But there's no price fixing, right? There's also no steering. And steering means that an agent would either not showcase a home or not bring a listing to your attention, or tell you that a listing that you brought to the agent's attention was something you wanted to see. And they're like, oh, no, you don't want to see that one. Steering, right? It's very simple concept. So, and then also decoupling, right? Decoupling the buyer side from the selling side, the buyer's agent from the seller's agent, who's paying. Everybody pays their own side, which theoretically I get, and that might be the way we're headed ultimately. Our broker thinks that decoupling is, and there's one firm and one brokerage that literally won't even take a listing agreement for 6%. They will just take it for 1, 2, or 3, whatever their side as the listing side is going to take it, with no offer. But again, if I'm a buyer's agent and I can bring an offer and still say, hey, we're going to give you $500,000 for this home, but I'm writing in 3% from you. And then it's a negotiation. So nothing's really changed except just a lot of busy work for agents, and a lot more forms, a lot more contractual things, and a lot more
explaining. A lot more conversation.
There's no free lunch. People are paying one way or another. There was one way that was the more efficient, the traditional way, but maybe it might have just been explained wrong in certain markets, and that is kind of the reason this whole thing came about. So
so it's an exciting time. I don't know if I would have joined you, Bret.
Yeah.
Now in my career, if this was all just unfolding and I was.
Well, you know what? You're fired. They're good for you. No, but like, so for me, I've taken listings. I've shown buyers in the last 5 or 6 days since this started. Nothing's changed for me personally, other than making sure that the right forms, and like Amber said, educating and talking. And again, before I forget, because we have no notes on this one and we haven't talked about anything we're going to do, Amber and I developed scripts, and our team did, and kind of like what was the background of how we got here, what your options are going forward, and we have those available. So if you want to reach out, email or call us, and those are mainly talking points for us as agents to educate our buyers and sellers. But if you'd like that, we wouldn't mind sharing that, and it kind of gives you just an idea of how we got here and what we're doing going forward.
Yeah, because you may have found this video just by searching what's going on, and you found us and you thought, hey, I might want to sell my home, but I'm really confused about what's going on. Hopefully this video will add some clarity. And again, we spent a lot of time developing scripts to be a wealth of information for you. And that's really the important thing. It needs to be a conversation. You need to understand your options and know all the details. And whatever you do from there is your choice, and we respect that. There is a way that we are, advising our clients to proceed. But again, it's a case-by-case thing. And we do feel that the strongest agents, the agents that are able to have these conversations and answer questions, are the ones that are going to prevail in this environment, because it is a little tough and tricky to navigate right now.
Yeah, it is. And so this is the era of the true professional really being...
Break it out.
Even yeah, good one. Good one. I'll let it slide because your birthday's coming up. The true professional is more important now in this environment than any time, because it's very, I wouldn't say the wild, wild west, but it's very... It's very
it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
Is that the word? I'm always trying to be in your brain.
It is the biggest change that we've had, since I don't know when in the real estate industry, but it's a very fluid environment. So, I wouldn't relish being a first year agent or second year agent with this, because the majority of your people are buyers. And one of the biggest changes, because the commission and the compensation has been negotiable, and some people's pay, the other people pay. It's kind of been the same. It's one pocket or the other, the deal, because net, your offer terms include this or that, but you pay this or I pay this, or you include the refrigerator, washer, and dryer, but I'll give you a little more money, more closing costs, less this. It kind of net it equals the same bottom line. What's my takeaway? What's my put in? What's my cashier's check for? Why are the day of closing? What am I signing on for? But the thing that is probably more finite, and this is something that is not negotiable, that was not the case, is that you have to have a signed buyer representation agreement. And there's two versions. There's a short form in Texas, a 1-pager, and then there's a 5-pager long form. So you call me right now and say, hey, let's go call me. Don't do that. Even if you want to go see a house and you're my friend, I at least need to get that 1-page form filled out.
And even it applies to FaceTime calls. It's not even just physically going on site. If we are conducting any type of real estate transaction, showing anybody anything, we have to have, yes, Bret.
I didn't even know about that. See, it's fluid, right? I don't really show many homes on FaceTime. It's not COVID. But, if that's the case, that is crazy. Mm-hmm. What if I go in there, film myself by myself, and then text it to somebody?
Don't get me in trouble in this video.
We're going to get you in trouble in a minute. Just kidding. So like I'm saying, Amber and I we're
going to be compliant. That's the point. And we're going to do what is asked of us and what we're needed to do. We respect the rules. We respect our brokerage. We work for Remax Fine Properties. We have a stellar reputation. We work for the best broker, Nimesh Patel. And we're going to do the right thing. So...
Yeah, so in the past, it'd be even if somebody called me off Google or whatever, I'd be like, all right, I'll go meet them once, and let's make sure
you develop a rapport.
Yeah, and it's I like that. I like them. I like
no strings attached. We're going to show you something. If you want to work with us, great. If not, that's okay.
I've never really got a buyer rep signed prior to finding someone a home and getting an offer accepted.
And now this is on video as well.
Well, I've given
the rules.
I've given information about brokerage services and their options and things, but locking them down. When I first started, it was lock somebody down to a 6-month buyer rep agreement, get a 4-door car, and okay, cool.
Our mentality more is that if we do right by you and we're communicating and doing everything and showing our value, you're going to want to stay with us. That's the point.
With me, yeah. So
me.
But bottom line, and sometimes we might not be the right fit for you. You might not be the right fit for us. So it's let's just see how it goes.
Right.
Let's
date.
Let's go on a date. And that really,
not really. I'm kidding. I'm happily married. So are you.
And that honestly really put us in danger, because we could show
we had more risk.
We've shown 15, 20, 30 homes to people with no promise of They could just say, I chose to rent, or actually my cousin just got there.
We had a lot of skin in the game.
Yeah. So we've gotten burned a few times, but for the most part, it's easier than that. And trying to anyway, that's the old way. The new way is a buyer rep agreement to go see any home. Now, if you call me as the listing agent and say, hey, can you open the door for me? I don't want your services. I either have my own real estate agent or I'm going to represent myself. I could open my own listing because I'm working for the seller, and it'd basically be like an open house almost, and I'm not representing you, giving you advice other than here's the information that's public on the MLS. I don't have to have a buyer rep to open up my own listing. So... but not many listing agents worth their weight in salt are going to be popping by their own listings to go open the door for people that want to save 3%.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Or, I've gotten probably 10 requests to go show a certain property in the last 2 days.
And it's a very special property.
I just can't do it. A, I represent the seller, and B, I just can't pop over to a listing. I have other clients to, so and I wouldn't want to work in the middle of two clients. So there's some logistical challenges and a little bit more complicated processes. It's going to end up being like, I feel a lot, it's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of movement to pretty much end at the same place relatively. But yeah, everybody, you have rights to negotiate. You have the right to pick whatever agent you want. Again,
we hope it's us.
Yeah, we don't get paid until a deal closes, and a deal can't close until you accept terms that are acceptable to you and your family, or you by yourself if you're buying or selling by yourself. So again, the not the danger, but it's still on us. Like, we spend a decent amount of money marketing homes and listing them, and sometimes it was, you know what, I want to take the home off the market. It's just not the right time. The market, the rates are high, or presidential election, or inflation, and we're not getting the bites. And let's list it next year. Or some of my family's moving to town, and we're just gonna let them live there for a year or two. Whatever, we take it down, right? So that's the cost of doing business. So I mean, we still have a lot of skin in the game, like Amber said. But yeah, the buyer rep form is non-negotiable, and our broker even told us, is like, if I find out anybody in this office, 150 agents, one of the top Remaxes in the nation, he's like, if I find out anyone, yes, y'all too, if I find out anybody, you're gone. That's how strict it's going to be. I don't know how they're going to enforce it, but those are some of the changes. But as long as you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's and doing things correctly, which is what we do as a team, and our office does, and our brokerage as a whole, the professional aspect of it, again, is so important. You're not going to be too affected by it. And I'm still seeing most listings that I talk to and I call the agent, and the ones I've gotten under contract are still offering, the seller is still offering to pay the other side.
Right.
And that's kind of how we advise as best practices to our sellers.
Yes.
So, that's kind of the current landscape. And yeah, what have you been feeling?
I mean, it's just more to do, more to learn, but change is sometimes the necessary evil, and we're adapting, and that's what you do in this industry to survive and stay on top. And we are still top 2% in the country, and we're really proud of that. And I think the biggest thing I've learned is that you don't do this job unless you have a passion and a love for the people. Because if you're not passionate about this, it's not worth doing. And we truly do love what we do. That's why we have this channel. That's why we love, recording these type of videos and informing and engaging with everyone. So if you are interested in buying, purchasing, leasing, just having a conversation about this. Again, we are licensed in Texas. Obviously, our channel is called the Houston Local Guide. So this is our area of specialty. We'd love to hear from you. All of our contact information is below. Subscribe to our channel, share this out. Reach out to us anytime, and we'll see you again here next week.
I still have a lot more to say. I'm kidding. Later. All right, go.
Oh, am I going to take the lead?
Yeah.